Yo, what is good? Episode 6. We're in the finals. I got Cy here, and my God, my man has come back and has a new segment for us. So I'm just excited to hear it. But before we even get into that, Reau, what's good, bro?
Yeah,
What is
welcome,
good?
Reau.
What's good, bro? How you guys
Happy
doing?
4th of July, fellas. This is July
Yeah.
4th, episode 6. We're doing a holiday edition for y'all. Obviously, Reau comes with different type of tears today. Give it to us, Reau. Give it to us. Initial feelings.
I texted him last night. I was like, yo, you can't be ashamed of this. Like, congratulations.
I let him live, man. I don't text people after losses. I know how it feels. So I give him a little space.
I did feel bad, though, bro. From being honest, it kind of reminded me of, like, you know that feeling when you, like, because no one cries at the, like, high school graduation.
No.
Nah, it was like a college graduation where, like, you was like, damn, like, I really had some good time. But it's like, it's growth coming from this. We all right. We good.
Yeah,
I really wasn't upset.
So you're going to the work. So the Hawks are going to the working professional life now. Is that what you're saying? Like we expect things now. Like you are going to get a salary. Some are going to grad school.
NBA. We're going NBA.
Oh, we're going to NBA. Okay.
NBA grad school.
Graduated, going to Ivy League, NBA.
Here we go.
Right now.
Here we go. Okay, so expectations are coming now.
Yeah.
Like y'all had your little undergrad fun, but it's time. It's time to turn it up. Okay.
Check's coming next year, bro.
So did you watched all the game? I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to yell at you again one more time. I had another parlay prop bet going on. You know me, FanDuel gets me every time. FanDuel gets me every time. There's like I throw $10. I'm like, dude, I can win so much money. So for those who aren't listening, the last game I hit like 6 out of 7 things, and the one thing that screws me immediately, I text bro. I was like, yo, tell your man Kevin Herter, come on, you can't get 15. You can't get 15 points. Like Trey's not even playing. Trey's not even playing. So what happened last night? Again, the Hawks, they let me down, man. I partnered up with my buddy Roy. Shout out to you, Roy. Brown Roy, for all of our friends that know White Roy and Brown Roy. This is Brown Roy. So we had a little thing. We're like, yo, let's just run the same parlay, right? And it came down to Bogdanovich and John Collins. John Collins needed 1 bucket and Bogey needed an assist. And there's like 4 minutes to go in the fourth, and they're actually making their little run. And you see the little Bogdanovich drives down the middle, kicks the pass to John Collins, and he makes the little layup. I'm like, yes, run that again. Run that play again. What happens? Trey takes over and starts throwing up everything. ISO ball. I'm like, nah, man, y'all just scored. All we need is the assist combo. And we would have made, a decent amount of money off a $10 bet. But here we are. So I kind of sulk in your loss as well last night. I will say, man, your trick or treat. Somebody showed up. Somebody showed up.
Hey, I will say, that take absolutely made sense to me.
It's been accurate ever since you said that.
Every game he won, they went. I mean, yeah, every game they won, he went crazy.
And every game they don't win, he doesn't do anything. Yeah, he's like
23 in a quarter, bro.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was sick. And I want to say this. Oh, go ahead,
I'm sitting here like just watching the game. This is how desperate I'm like, man. Just keep Cam Reddish on him. Stop putting Herter on him.
Yeah,
keep Cam on him.
Yeah, it was.
Cam Reddish didn't see that coming from him either.
Cam Reddish had a little coming out party last night. Yeah,
someone who hadn't played for like 4 months. Even when he came back, when they cleared him, I was like, he's not gonna play this series. Like we probably won't use him anyway. Yeah. But like it's nice to have. But yeah,
it showed that he's starting to get back in his NBA form because we know he got hurt. And dude, when you come back from injuries, you're just not the same player immediately. And especially NBA guys, like they have another level and they have a higher standard for themselves. Dude, like coming back to an injury, they all have to play. It's not physical most of the time. It's a mental thing.
Yeah.
Like all those guys, they come back for the most. I would say like from what I have witnessed and when you watch games, most of those guys come back like full form when they do finally return to the court. And it's always a mental. You can see it with Chris Paul in the last series. He looked any different physically from games 3 through 6, but mentally, he just kind of took over.
Yeah, I think it was the same with Trey too.
I agree. Last night I think his leg was hurting a little bit. I do. Yeah. He didn't have that same oomph to him.
Yeah. It was cool seeing him gut it out though. Because I think again, that is like growth for the next year. Because there's no way you're making a playoff run, especially as a miniature guard, and you're gonna be 100% the entire way.
Also, if you're a Hawks fan and you weren't on the Trey wagon yet, like after seeing him after last night, him getting through that and fighting through and trying to will his way to at least a game 7. And if you're not a fan, just pick a new team at this point. Like if you don't like Trey, I still don't like Trey, but I'm not a Hawks fan. So, but I get it.
It's one of those things where you got to respect him. Yeah, it wasn't I didn't like Trey.
No, I know.
Like, we should have picked Luka.
Yeah.
But I mean, at this point, I'm like, maybe we didn't need him. Like maybe us getting Trey and Cam was a good idea.
Yeah. Man, I got this like love and hate relationship with Oklahoma. So I remember when he came out, it was like, oh, dude, get the hell out of here. But I fell in love with him this playoff series. So
only on the Dezi Side podcast will you hear somebody say, I have this love and hate thing with Oklahoma. Who cares about Oklahoma, man?
I do. It's always like football shit. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Trey now. I'm there. I'm there, man.
I will say, Des, I told you that Drew Holiday was going to impose his will, and what happened? Last 2 games, Drew Holiday said, "It's my time."
My words
so,
first time, so
again. So
I'm gonna let you.
You don't ever mention Drew Holiday ever again, okay? All right, when you talk about him, talk about however you want when he plays against Chris Paul, and maybe it'll work in our favor. But I'm not talking about Drew Holiday no more.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna start going reverse psychology. Like Drew's about to lock up Book, and we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be 10 times harder to play against. Yep, he's Pat Bev 2.0 without the
antics. Gonna try to hurt you. Yeah,
without the antics.
Pat Bev 69.
So now we know, right? Now I'm sorry it comes at the loss of the Hawks and your series comes to an end, your season comes to an end. But as a Suns fan, Suns pod a little bit, we know who we're playing against. So looking forward, man. I'm going to game 1, and I'm really happy that it's on Tuesday because it kind of worked out with how my travel plans come. Not that nobody cares, but being a little selfish, I'm happy. So okay, first thoughts. Let's hear it from Reau because you just saw every single game against the Bucks, and you saw it from the perspective of with Giannis and without Giannis because you're watching from a different perspective than we are. Like I think Des and I are probably watching like who are we playing, what do we like when matchups, but you're watching like why aren't they exposing this? Why aren't we doing this? Yada yada, like those kind of things. So what did you see that sticks out that maybe the Suns like? What's your advice from fan viewing for me? Right? Like,
what should we exactly?
First thing I look at Ayton versus Lopez.
You think that's the matchup? Do you think it's Ayton versus Lopez or Ayton versus Giannis?
Lopez. Well, I don't think we see Giannis until like at least game 3. So
you think so?
And I didn't see a world in which I say we don't have an answer for Brook Lopez. Like Clint. Clint, I've watched a lot of Clint Capella this year, and I'm a big fan. I love Clint. But I'm like,
come on,
we man. Get bodied by Brook? Like, is this Brooklyn Brook?
No, that's Milwaukee Brook, bro.
That's weird. Yeah. Yes, I don't know. I'm interested to see like, does that carry over? Because I mean, it's weird because you think Clint Capella's like. He's 6'10", but
he's the same. Him and Ayton feel okay. A lot of people called Ayton like another version of Clint Capella, and I'm like, people who said that take are probably going to eat their words now that you've watched these 2 playoff series happen.
Yeah, I mean, and like at the top, I think mid-season it said that about DeAndre. That's a valid take. I'd probably say, but
I think you can get off with saying that before Chris Paul comes to the Suns. I think after I don't think he regresses now that he's played with a point guard like that. Okay, so what else? I'm terrified of Drew Holiday, to be honest.
I'm really interested to see who like the backcourt defensively, like who matches up with who. So like do you put Drew on Chris or Book? And then I think you probably put PJ Tucker on one of the like. Because I think
you go Tucker on Book and you go Drew on CP3. But then
I don't think I'm putting PJ has to guard somebody, and you saying that guard Bridges or Jay. That's kind of like that's a waste of him being on the court in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I like that, Reau, because we talked about this last pod. I don't like this matchup for a lot of reasons. And to be honest, and I said this bringing in Frank the Tank, it's because of Brook Lopez. And it's crazy for me to say this out loud because I'm like, man, like whenever should I ever be afraid of Brook Lopez? But the way he's shown up this whole series, the fact that he can shoot the 3, the fact that if he takes DeAndre Ayton out of the paint and they can attack, like that's where I'm concerned. And then I don't even know where they stand in offensive rebounds, but still, like if we take our rim protector out of the paint, then we got an issue.
I have a fun one for y'all. So yeah, with my prop bets, it's right along with what you just said. So last night we had something on Brook Lopez, right? We had 6+ rebounds. We were like, oh, that's easy. He's going against the Hawks. They only got Capella. You know, this should be no brainer. This man barely got his 6th rebound in the 4th quarter with like 4 minutes to go. And I'm thinking now that y'all bring this up, the rebounding thing, like Ayton was getting 10+ like easily. And
Easy,
I know we're
like
going against the
quarter.
Clippers and they don't have a center. I get that. I'm not stupid. But the Bucks, the way they play, Brook Lopez is not in the paint the whole time. Like, you know this, Reau. Like, he's sticking out on the 3. I don't know that Ayton's going to just lose some rebounding battle all of a sudden, especially against a guy that's stretched out trying to shoot threes sometimes like 50% of that entire game. The thing that I do see with the Bucks is they gang rebound a lot more than other teams do. Like, and they do that, like the Suns do the same thing. There's a lot of gang rebounds. And what I mean by that, if you don't know, is like everyone's crashing the boards, including point guards, including like your shooting guards. No one's trying to leak out and try and get a fast break. So the battle for rebounds, there's going to be a lot of tipped balls, loose balls, 50-50 balls. Like those are things that, I mean, it's going to come down to who wants it more and who's hungrier.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things that it seems like they've swapped, because to me, what I saw is they essentially put Brook into Giannis's spot on offensively. Mm-hmm. And basically he got all the post touches and stuff like that. So that's why I'm saying I think the Ayton matchup versus him would be interesting. At least like the first game, of course, just to feel it out and see how they want to play it. And then I don't know who, like, I think they'll probably be able to play a lot of Brent Forbes.
No.
This is my guy. Brent Forbes versus Cam.
Brent Forbes, I remember last year, Brent Forbes on the Spurs. I think it was last year.
Yeah.
He came to the Suns' house and like lit us up for 30. And I was like, I didn't even know who you were before this game. So I hope that dude does not show up. I hope Brent Forbes shows up or Rim Forbes shows up. I don't know, but I don't want no Brent Forbes.
I think they said something about him, like he looks like the actor that plays in a basketball movie. Like like the 90s or early 2000s, like basketball movies. You get those cats that are like actors that can't really play ball but sort of look the part. I saw that.
The movie's called And One, featuring Brent Forbes. That's terrible, but I love it.
Oh man. All right. So Reau, I got one. I'm gonna put you on the spot here. So we've been taking a lot of your takes, man. A lot of people have been loving it. So we've been sort of going off that. So I want to get your insight on this. So if you had to pick an album that could describe the Hawks season, where would you go and why?
That is really on the spot. We'll give you some time, Reau. Go ahead.
Give you some time. It's going to be something from Atlanta for sure.
Of course.
Yeah. And if you got to come back to it, fine.
Yeah, if you got to come back, that's okay. But that's got to be on the back of your mind while we keep potting.
Yeah.
I would prefer a recent album. Give me a recent album, unless you really want to dive deep in your bag.
I say let him go deep.
This man is on the spot, just so everybody knows. He's thinking. He's going through all his Landon loves.
Yeah. I low-key want to go with I want to go with Trap Music by T.I.
Oh my God, I love that album. But why? Hold on.
Urban Legend.
No, I want to hear why.
I was going to go Urban Legend, but like with Urban, by the time he dropped Urban Legend, it was like, we know T.I. is like, we already knew we were good by now.
Yeah, T.I. is T.I. at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me see. For context, I want to make sure I have like, because that's the one where he had 24s on it, if I remember correctly.
Is Rubber Band Man on that song too? I mean, on that album?
You said who on it?
The song Rubber Band Man?
I think
it's on there.
Well, now I want to
look on that one, or I gotta look.
I'm just going off memory here for our listeners. I
want to say that was his first joint though.
Yeah. So you had 24s. Let's Get Away with Jassy Faye.
Oh wow!
Shout out to Rubber Band Man.
See, I know.
CIP
Oh, that's a great. Oh, man.
Yeah, I can't quit. Yeah, and primarily I'll go with that because when he dropped them serious, if he wasn't really like deep in Atlanta rap at that point, he was like, I don't really know who T.I. is. But then when he dropped trap music, he was like, oh, shoot, T.I. for real. And then Rubber Band Man came out, and that was when, to me, he kind of broke. To me, it was like the Hawks was like, oh, y'all cool. You got Trey down there. Y'all probably good in like 3 or 4 years. And then it was like, oh, shit, like the Hawks are for real shit.
What's the song that's equivalent to y'all hiring Nate McMillan as the head coach? So that's a turnaround song, man. It's got to be a turnaround, like a game changer.
Nah, Rubber Band Man is too easy.
It is, but that's the song that like put him on. Like I remember hearing that, and I'm like, "Who is this rapper? I've never heard of him before." And I was like young at that time.
Because I was about to go with a deep cut on the album, track 2, the song I can't quit. Because at that moment, it was like before he got hired, it was like I can't even stunt. I started looking. I'm like, okay, so we like 12 right now. Maybe we get to 8, but if not, who in the lottery without?
Wow, you started looking at draft picks already.
Bro, it got nasty. It was after a game we played against Dallas, ironically enough, and it was in Dallas. I think we were up by like 22 in like the middle of late third, and we lost by like 6.
And that after that game, they fired Lloyd Pierce, right?
I think it was like 2 or 3 games after that. But
it was like short. It was shortly. It was like within a week.
Yeah, but that was. Which
he actually got hired recently. I forgot where he went.
Yeah, he's like an assistant.
I think he went to the Pacers. To be honest, I think Rick Carlisle grabbed him. I might be wrong on that, but one of y'all can fact check me if you want.
Okay.
I do know
actually,
that.
I actually really like that take. Yeah,
I like that album take. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know. Yeah, I think you got me. Like, I can't. and you kept it in Atlanta too.
Oh, have to.
All right. I like that. I like that.
Update: Lloyd Pierce is in fact an assistant coach for the Indiana Pacers.
Gosh, I'm good, man. That's off the dome, man. Thank you.
Nice.
People be sleeping. I really like basketball. I don't know if you knew that. Okay, so fun one. Let's go back to the matchup, right? I think people want to hear our perspective on Bucks Suns. One thing I think is a differentiating factor, because we just are starting to mention coaches, is the coaching. Monty and Bud take real different approaches to the game, man. And I don't know who I really trust in this situation more. Not that I don't like Monty or anything, but both coaches really haven't been there. I know both coaches are kind of slow to make adjustments from game to game, to be honest. Like we kind of saw that in the Clippers series. It took a little while till they forced the ball inside to get Ayton some touches, and obviously getting Chris Paul back in the rotation was different. So it kind of mixed things up. And Bud on the other side, I feel like I'll stick with what I'm saying. He has no idea what he's doing. I think the players literally carry him, especially like I say that because I watched them play without Giannis, and they didn't really change how they played. It just happened to be that Giannis isn't there, so other guys are getting a little more touches, a little more ball rotation, because when he gets it, it's kind of like, all right, he's going to do his put his head down. ISO. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, like, what do you think, Dez? What do you think about the coaching, man? Like, are you concerned? Or like, what? I mean, both guys have never been here, but
yeah, all right. So this series I'm really excited for, because I think it's like everyone's first, right? And so in so many ways, the way that I sort of see it is we're comparing obviously the two coaches, but then we go back to veteran leadership. Chris Paul has never been there. And you had a really great take on the Atlanta Hawks. I think it was the last pod of like, they all just want to play together. They play really well together. That's why they're doing well. And so I had said, like, you know what? Like in this case, veteran leadership, you would assume that he would be able to carry them. But now as I look at it, this is everyone's first. I don't know how Chris Paul is going to show up. I just don't. I'm going to assume that he's going to take those elbow shots. I'm going to assume he's going to come off pick and roll, all those things. But coach to coach, like, I agree. I don't think – I think you and I could go coach the Bucks and they would do okay.
Bro, I think I could actually do better. I think I could do better. And this could be me being naive, but like, hey, whatever. Y'all can kill me in the comments, man. I don't care.
I don't know. I'm gonna be a homer here. I think Monty has it because he's shown that he can adjust. I would agree, man. Once you said that, I started looking into some of the adjustments that Bud makes, and I'm like, what? You're
like
just
the Bobby
there,
Portis thing, I think he got lucky that Bobby Portis kind of showed up and just did what he did. But like, I don't think he planned for that. I really don't. Yeah. And you know why I know he didn't plan for that? Because he didn't even give Bobby a chance when they were starting to lose to the Nets. Like he only got really very limited minutes, never got to catch a rhythm. And only by necessity does Bobby Portis start playing because Giannis goes down, and it just happened to work out. And I'm like, I mean, and I get it, right? The playoffs have tighter rotations. Like guys aren't going to get there, but like when you go down in a series 3-2, like you got to try something. Nate just showed us you got to try something. Cam Reddish kind of showed out when they needed it. Like, and you didn't win the games, but now he knows he's got something for next year. Whereas I don't think Bud knows at all. Like when DiVincenzo went down, he's like, "Oh yeah, Pat Connaughton, that of course, like they're the same height. Like you play that spot, and they're not the same player. I'm sorry, DiVincenzo is a much better defensive guy than
I do like him,
than Pat Connaughton. And I think, like, I don't know, it's maybe I'm just being really naive or being kind of Homer viewpoint. So, Reau, if you got to check me, man.
I got a few thoughts. On the Bucks side, I think. Really, with the DiVincenzo injury, like him putting Pat Connaughton in there, I think what we're seeing is it's not really a lot of options. Because one of my thoughts on the series in general is like, what does the bench look like for the Bucks? Like, I think
I don't even know. You're right.
You guys, I think easily can get to like your 8th man comfortably. With them, with Giannis, it's like that's really like a 6.5 man team, depending on like the night. And like Bobby Portis not playing in the net series, like. I think it's a little bit of Bud not necessarily trusting him, but he kind of got played off the floor. Like he kind of played like shit in that series. Like,
he did. You're right. The minutes that he got were not great.
Jeff Green murdered him. You know he can't guard KD, and
he's not gonna be able to guard. He can't stay in front of Cam Johnson and stuff like that either. Like
so it's like if you're Bud, like I would rather just play my 6.5 men and just die on that hill with that. I think to the question around coaching, the main reason why I trust Monty is because I think there's a higher likelihood of Chris telling Monty, fuck what we're doing, we're not doing that anymore. Before like Chris.
No one on the Bud is saying that.
Yeah. And we know like Giannis, it's great that he's extremely coachable, but like the likelihood of him coming to Bud and being like, we need to switch it up versus Chris. Like Chris
is a coach on the floor.
Yeah.
Chris is a coach on the floor. Giannis, I love Giannis, don't get me wrong. And if he wasn't playing the Suns, I'd be rooting for him. But he doesn't have the highest basketball IQ compared to a lot of the greats in the league right now. And I know that because when you watch him, he still tries to do the same thing over and over. It's like rinse and repeat. Put your head down, get to the rim. Put your head down, get to the rim. Or when guys are giving him the 3, he's like, yeah, I'll take it. And like he doesn't do the best job at exposing weaknesses like you see LeBron or KD or Luka. Like he doesn't create those. He kind of like he absorbs so much because he's this physical, awesome beast that can just score at will when he's like 4 feet around the basket. But he doesn't necessarily like create. He creates through defensive schemes, doing it more so than him setting up his guys, if that makes sense, right? Like LeBron kind of puts people in places, does what he needs to do, and then gets them the ball.
Yeah.
Trey even, I feel like, did a really good job about that. Like, yes, Trey wants to play ISO ball, but he will drive and kick accordingly, or he will drive, watch defenses come up, throw the oop. Giannis kind of just plays to the fact that he is just so much more physically more gifted than other people and takes full advantage of it, right? And I think that's where a difference on the floor will come because it goes back to what you said, Des. Both teams are brand new here. So we're going to be throwing stuff probably at them that they haven't seen and vice versa. But we have a coach on the floor with Chris who does dissect the game pretty decently. And I think Devin's getting a lot better at it. He's nowhere near anyone else's level with respect to the guys that I've just mentioned. But I think Devin's also kind of getting there.
No, I can agree with what you're saying. I can see if Monty is making some sort of transition or switch and Chris is like, this is not what's going on with the game. Fuck that. Like, we're going to go a different route here. I could see that happening, and there's a mutual respect where he's gonna be like, all right, I'm going to go with my floor general on the floor. But going back to like Giannis's tip, I mean, this was perfect. I mean, we've all seen it on IG everywhere. That clip of like he's right above the free throw line and Blake is just standing back like near that like small little perimeter, and he's trying to like give him some, and Blake is just waiting for him. And he tries again. And I'm just like, this is the epitome of what his bag looks like. It's like, I need you to come up to get me so that I can beat you. I can Euro step you or whatever. So if we can stop their transition, I feel like we have a really good chance to hone in on him because he's not going to beat you from mid range. He's just not. But
and if
they
he
go off
does,
on
you
a
live
run,
with it, right? If he does, you live with it. But
I'm okay
also,
with it. Exactly.
Is he playing? Also, is he playing the first 2 games? Like that's also
Okay,
another factor.
All right. So is there new news on this? Because last I checked, like there's no structural damage.
He's still day-to-day as far as I know. And they said he would maybe play if they went to game 7. Like that was just, I mean, unless Reau's seen something different.
Yeah. I can't see that he's not. I can't see he's not playing. I mean, Reau, you said game 3 possibly. Any reason why, or is that just you kind of thinking about it?
I feel like a normal human, if you hyperextend your knee before you start like freely walking and maybe even jogging, it's like 4 to 6 weeks.
No, he's not normal human, so
yeah. So like
he eats his Caesar salads after the game. He's getting that sodium back in his system. He didn't get nachos and chicken tenders after that win. He went and got the sodium salad, man. He even says, "Forget Caesar. I just need sodium and salad."
Hey, shout out to the Bucks dietitian. I see you. What's up?
Yeah,
we know game.
I think that would put them at. That would put it at like 3 weeks, maybe. So I'm just cutting
also if they give up the first 2 at the Suns, it's expected. It's kind of expected, right? Like I guess, of course, you're in the finals. You don't want to lose any games, but if you go down to the team that's at home 2-0, that's not the end of the series. We just saw it. The Clippers literally went down 2-0 and turned it right back around. So I think I'm kind of rolling with it, unless he just is like, no, I'm freaking playing. And then, but there's a lot of risk there. Like it might not, even though there's no structural damage, there's the mental thing. We just talked about it, man. Guys don't just come back mentally. Like, and he might have a brace on his knee, and then Chris might say, "How's your knee feeling?" And then he starts thinking about it. If I was on the court and I knew you had something, I would start getting in your head. You're telling me Chris Paul, who got pushed in the back by Pat Bev, is not going to start saying some shit to Giannis or whoever?
Obviously, I'd rather y'all split in Phoenix and him come back game, because I don't want to.
No, Reau.
I don't want to see him
in Phoenix. We're going up 2-0. I don't want none of those splits.
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
I know.
I have no dog in the fight at this point. I just want to see good basketball.
This is like great basketball, right? Yeah,
exactly. So like, I'd rather him come back game 4.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him come back compromised, because
it's already or game 4.
Game 4. I mean, because if you think about this finals, man, like it's already like we have enough shit around it with injuries, because right now, like, okay, so you playing the Bucks without Giannis and add in all the injuries that have happened within the playoffs. It's kind of like imagine if your girl's watching the Kardashians and they're like, actually only Chloe this episode. She doesn't want to watch that.
Nobody's watching that.
No one wants to watch
No one is watching that. It's Chloe and Rob. Actually, it's Chloe and Rob. Rob can be fat Rob, though, not like in shape Rob.
So like, I don't know. I'd rather y'all split in Phoenix so he doesn't rush to come back for 3, and then 4 maybe he's a little bit better. Just so we see good basketball for like 4 through 7 or whatever.
I can actually respect that. You know, it's so often I'll be watching, whether it's football or basketball, and wife, like, who you going for? I'm like, I just want to watch a good game. I'm just interested in something that keeps me locked in. So from a fan perspective, I can understand where you're coming from. From people who have had heartbreak over heartbreak.
Yeah, I honestly don't care.
I want Suns and 4.
Suns and 4. You know what? Because I was talking to Dez about this, and I was talking to Daniel about this, and I said, you know, everyone's like, oh, Kawhi got 2 rings or whatever, right? No one gives him nothing about KD and Clay going down, really. It kind of like it's a second thought. You still are like, oh, Kawhi got 2. So if Chris gets a ring and Dev gets a ring, whatever. Yeah, injury-ridden season, but the Suns still won the championship, whatever. I don't care. Yeah. No one said it about the Lakers last year, even though they had and I get it, the bubble's different, but they played a hobbled Heat team. They played some hobbled teams in the playoffs. Like, I don't want to hear this injury every year. It's just a bad narrative. Honestly, it's the poor man's narrative. It's the guy that doesn't watch a lot of basketball, so that's easy for them to say. It's like, oh, well, all the stars were hurt. Of course you're going to win. Oh, so
boys.
And I'm just going to be that Homer voice that keeps freaking standing my ground and dying on the hill that injuries are part of the game. A win is a win. Don't penalize me for doing what I was supposed to do.
I mean, honestly, who gives a damn?
I don't. I
legit,
don't. I will rock the gear when we win proudly. And people are like, you had an injury championship. I don't care. Does it say injury championship or says 2021
championship?
Any Atlanta team, like, because I mean, if any Atlanta team wins anything, I don't give a damn how it happens. Like the Braves could have won like the bubble.
Bubble MLB. Yeah, whatever.
I would have been all in.
Hell yeah, you would. The Lakers fans were this last year.
Yeah, and like to your point, like for example, with the casual fan who doesn't necessarily watch, like the Bucks. Let's say, for instance, the Tampa Bay Bucks won the Super Bowl. They played great, but it's like I guarantee you, if both left tackles for the Chiefs played, it's probably
100% different game. But a lot of people didn't know that, and they don't. They're like, they're like, those are tackles. They don't change the game. Oh, yes, they do. If anything, there's a more support piece like on the offense sometimes outside the quarterback.
Either way,
I have a fun thing for y'all. Actually, a really fun thing. So 2 things. I played a pickup game yesterday. To start my
how'd it go?
Honestly, I was just a person on the court. I was there for it. I definitely had one of those I'm here for exercise games where I was just running up and down.
Let me turn on my watch. All right.
Oh yeah, the watch was firing, man. And I was like, I'm running every play, but I'm not really doing much, Yeah. I think I had like a couple of threes, and it was nothing to be proud of. Let's just put it that way.
So pretty much you did a heat check, and you're like, all right, I don't got it today, so I'm gonna get my exercise in. I'm gonna get my steps in.
I was like, oh, my knee. Oh, I think I got. Oh, all right, I'm done. But I bring it up to say, okay. So first, on the court, Dez, and this is a question for both of y'all. So whoever can go first. This first question is: are you a shit talker? And if so, what do you really be saying to other people? And if you're not, do you like having a shit talker on your team? I'll go with Dez first.
I don't talk shit. Unless
do you talk at all?
I normally don't, because I'm a person that, again, like I'm more like lockdown defender. So I just want to like make your day hell. But when someone is talking shit to me, it's really hard for me to stay present that this is just basketball. So it starts to become personal. So, and this is also coming from like past conditioning. Like I've seen my dad fight on the court like plenty of times. So it's like, it's not the healthiest thing. So to answer your question, I don't talk shit unless being talked shit to, and then it usually escalates fairly quickly. And on top of that, yes, I want someone on my team that is doing the shit talking, because in my life growing up, that's my brother Anthony. Like he is
Squaawww, man.
He is talking so much shit,
barking,
and they're like zingers too that like you got to like think about for a little bit. It's like, damn it, like what did he say to me?
Dude, I have a funny story. I remember playing pickup with him one time, and he was talking so much shit to the other team that I got pushed. I didn't even do nothing. I got pushed. I was like, I got a hard check. I'm like, why are they so mean? Oh, it's because he's on my team.
Yeah, I mean, most of our experiences is like playing the freaking like IVM league as kids. So like it was like us 3 full court press the whole time, talking shit to like some like engineers. So like it's nothing big.
Some nerds.
Yeah.
All right, Reau, what you got?
I'm a big if provoked guy in it too. And the thing is, I don't get.
I can see that.
Out of it. If anything, my drive to the rim way better. Way better, because I'm actually like pissed off, and I don't really want the foul if I don't finish, because I'm just like, you probably finish soft at that point. Yeah. It always starts for me if it's like the shitty foul call is probably the root of everything. Whether it's and I don't do the, especially if I call it and they say it wasn't, and they say shoot for it, that's like triggered immediately. I'm like, I'm not shooting for shit.
Give me my ball.
I called it. Check up. Like, no, I won't shoot. I'm like, you want to shoot, you can shoot, but I'm letting you know right now, it's my ball when you're done.
Yeah.
And then it goes from there.
So you're that guy. I remember
I'm kind of,
for our listeners, I did provoke.
Respect my call if I call.
I provoked Reau when we played some pickup game a little bit. It was fun, man. We had some fun banter, but we're friends though, so
that wasn't bad.
It's not real. No. I mean, I was just trying to get under his skin. It worked a little bit. I don't say shit on the court, to be honest. I
don't ever think I've heard you say anything.
All I do is give the score, and every now and then I try to finesse the score a little bit, like in my favor. They're like, I'm like 7-5, right? They're like, I think it's 6-5. I'm like, but he
7-5.
They're like, and then they confuse everybody. Yeah, it's great. That's all I ever do. Roy will attest to this. He'll be like, I knew you were cheating on the court. I'm like, I'm not cheating. I'm trying. They always say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
You know what? Like I said this at the start of the pandemic when they created the bubble, because I was listening to PTI when they had said like all the sound from the crowd is not going to be there, so you might hear things. So they had talked about delaying the audio a little bit
because of the cussing, because
they could catch things. And so it was funny because PTI was going over it, and Wilbon was saying like, I really want to hear it. I would pay for it, and I've always said that I'll pay whatever subscription you want for me to get an unfiltered look into the audio of like the NFL, the NBA, maybe baseball, but NFL and NBA for me, right? And so I remember Kornheiser had said like, you know, there are things that you hear in there that can't be unsaid. Like we're talking like past like yo mama jokes. We're talking like going into like the psyche of an athlete and going after their family. And I was like, damn, I don't know if I want to hear that, because I mean you hear a bunch of shit of like who's the baddest shit talker, and everyone is always like KG, like everyone, that's across the board. So yeah, I don't know.
That's why Carmelo pulled up to the bus. He said some things that the hands need to get fix some things.
He's like, get out right now.
No, he really did. They're like, you need to leave, sir.
I think it was Chris Bosh who said like, I think Chris Bosh said KG called him a fucking mama's boy or something like that. He said,
I heard that audio. Yeah, it was all the smoke.
Like, I am. And he was like, how did he know that about me? He said it just fucked him up the entire game. Like he said he never could like get like his mind back. But while we're here, speaking of guys who talk shit, I actually have a nice little bit for you guys.
Let's go.
It's Would You Rather with PJ Tucker.
Sure.
And I think there's a case that in the world, PJ Tucker's better than your entire starting five, arguably.
All right,
this is gonna be a weird take, but okay.
All
right. Now you got my interest right now. Now I kind of want to talk shit to you. Okay, go.
Life on the line for one rebound. You want PJ or you want DeAndre?
DeAndre.
Okay. Dezi?
I'm gonna say DeAndre. Yeah.
Okay. There's a world where PJ literally punches him to get it. That's why I'm like.
But there's a world where we haven't even seen what DeAndre might do.
You're right. You need one stop. Are you going Bridges or are you going PJ?
PJ.
Shit, PJ.
Nah, I'm calling PJ.
Yeah, okay. That's a good one. Okay.
Tunnel fit, PJ or Book?
Say it one more time.
You know they come into the
tunnel
game,
fit. Yeah.
Get your tunnel fit off. You always see it on League Fit.
God, but that's not fair though, because that's not fair because of PJ's shoe game. That's not fair.
It's a fit. Not a fit could go.
I know. That's actually really hard.
All right.
Have you seen what Booker's been doing in the playoffs with his fits?
I've seen what he's been doing.
But longevity, PJ's. I got to go PJ. I'm sorry, I have to.
All right, can I include Book's car? Because that
yeah, does that count? He is pulling up into the tunnel with that thing.
That's why I was
like, yeah, who you going? Des, pick one.
All right, my mom made me a real big car guy. I'm gonna go Book strictly for the car. But if it's without the car, I think PJ. Yeah, damn shit, these are good ones.
Shoe collection. You going PJ?
Come on.
Or you going CP3?
Stop.
I mean,
no, PJ.
CP3 actually has some.
PJ literally pulled out a pair of. I just saw like last week. There's a shoe that was literally made for Pau Gasol, Grinch color schemed. I think Hyperdunk or something. I don't remember the exact shoe, but it was the Grinch scheme of Kobe Sixes. They only made 50 pairs, and PJ Tucker got a pair that fits his feet. They were made for Pau Gasol. What? He literally pulled out a pair last night. It's like only 100 pairs are made, and he had one.
All right, Reau, tell me you got one of these with like who you want swinging on who.
Oh, this is I saved this.
Okay,
all right. You're in the club. Your chain was snatched.
Chain snatched?
Your chain got snatched. Who are you taking with you to get it back? You taking Jay or you taking PJ?
Oh, ooh.
Because I might take Jay to get that chain back, man.
All right.
I think Jay's scarier.
This
I
is
think
why
Jay's
I'm going.
scarier. He got dark skin and the dreads. He's a little
Jay
scarier.
from the crib, so I'm going with Jay for that one.
I'm rolling with Jay too.
I'm going with PJ because like seeing his animosity when him and KD are like friends, just like going at each other, and at the same time turning to his mom like, "Hey, I love you." Like, "Hey," she's like, "I love you too." Like that means he can go either or on you. You can go like really loving, like, "Hey man, let me get that chain back," or like, "Yo, I'm about to fight you. Give me the chain back." Which either one, like if I'm the guy that stole the chains, like that would throw me for a curveball. Like, "Oh, damn, you're pretty cool, man." Like, "Hey, you know what? My bad, dude. You want a drink? Let me get you a drink."
But I gotta get the chain back, right? So I know Jay is tough, but he's also smart, right? Because he could have just checked Pat Bev right there and then when he gave him that shove. But he didn't, knowing that we're about to win and we need him for a finals game. So he's still using his brain while he's still got that muscle. And I need my chain back, so I'm going with Jay. I need some brain and some muscle. PJ just be going off emotions, man.
The idea of somebody snatching your chain.
It's like, crazy.
That one is wild, but just the idea of like 6'5" PJ being like, "Hey, bro, like, can you give me that chain back, please?"
Yeah.
That's the idea of a conversation to get a chain back. Nah, bro. And just if y'all were keeping score, I want you to know PJ is basically better than easily 3 out of 5 in this game of Would You Rather.
I don't mind the game. I don't like that the answers are the way they went, but it makes sense, right? PJ was a son. PJ was a son. Let's not just forget about that, okay? So let's it is what it is. I got a little love for him because we kind of like had that little baby flower and then we let him go blossom, okay? And he blossomed. And now he was about to wither away and someone was like, "Oh no, let's sprinkle a little more water on you. We don't want to forget about you, little plant." And that's him in the Bucks right now.
Little plant.
All right. I might know. I kind of want to go off that little bit right there, Reau. I probably already know the answer to this for both of you, but like I'm thinking about, oh my God, who's the cornerback for the Broncos that snatched Crabtree's chain?
Champ Bailey?
No. That was Hakeem Talib.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's what I was thinking about. Like I remember seeing, I was like, oh my God, like I would fight that dude. All right. So I want you to rank from first to third, what's going to get you in a fight faster? I think I already know the answer to these questions, but I'm still going to do it. Getting pushed in the back like Pat Bev 69, getting your chain snatched, or getting spit on.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I know the answer to this, but I don't.
Order. I think, or reverse order. I think I'm going spit on, chain snatch, and then the shove. Because see, the shove in the back, it kind of depends. Because like the best thing about the last two that you named, you get to see it. Like you saw who did it right away. With the shove in the back, it's like,
like who's getting swung on right now?
Yeah, but even worse, you got to figure out who did it. Then it's like the immediate, like you might pause and be like, I can't beat dude up.
Yeah.
I think I'm going.
So wait, hold on. So what's what? All right. So what's the one that's going to make you fight the quickest? Is you saying the spitting?
Spit okay. On those low key might be tied up because like
I
always the chain was not a big deal to me, man.
No,
that was my third.
It's a lot of stuff that happens that I have to think about, like my Atlanta homeboys. Can I come home and tell them this happened to me? and I'm still cool.
Yeah.
And the answer is no, that's immediate. Like, don't let it slide.
So you want to hear the Brown side perspective of that?
Yeah.
Because I got a funny chain story that you'll like. That's the complete opposite of what you just said. So going back to why I don't care about the chain.
Yo, we need a soundboard. God damn.
Right. I know. So going back to why I wouldn't care about the chain. First of all, not a jewelry guy. So but that aside, let's say I'm wearing a chain. I was wearing a chain in Vegas, but little do you know, it's a fake ass chain. Okay. It was $25 on Amazon. Now comes the Brown part. My dad, who I share an Amazon account with, is looking and I'm talking to him on the phone. He goes, "Why are you ordering in a Brown accent?" I'm not going to do the Brown accent on the pod.
Oh, I want to hear it.
No, I'm going to save that.
I want to hear it.
Save that.
I don't. Hey, listen. I don't want this take. I don't want this take unless it's authentic.
No, because my dad might listen. And I don't want him thinking I'm making fun of him. So I'm gonna just leave it right now. Right. It'll come naturally another time.
I'll take it.
Just use your imagination. Brown accent. He says, "Why are you buying a gold chain on Amazon?" I said, "I didn't buy it, Dad. That was a gift from Alana." "She don't know you got real chains?" Why is she buying? Why is she buying chains? I said, Dad, I used it in Vegas. Like, what if I lose it? What if it breaks? What if he's like, so you're just running around being fake now?
Yo, come on, man. You can't drop that last line and not do the accent, dude.
So the chain costs $24. He goes, so you want to pay $24 or you want to be $20 for marriage? I lost it when he said that. Oh shit! And then he just started laughing his head off, man. And I was like, "Damn, Dad, maybe that's where I get my wittiness from." But
bro, he got you.
Is ranked third. Going back to your original question for me, it's gonna be spit on pushing the back. If I get pushed in the back, I'm swinging. Your friends were close. They're gonna catch us. They're gonna catch the prey.
Who wants to catch these?
No, even if it's my friend. Whoops, too close. You didn't have my back. Literally.
Yeah, shout out to you, Frank the Tank. You catch one too. Why didn't you protect me?
He always catches a stray on this pod, man. Poor guy.
He does. He does.
Like, just don't be from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Go play for the Bucks so I can actually
so I can actually hate you the way that I want
he's
to.
He's a chemistry guy, big locker room guy. We need the glue guy that doesn't do anything. He keeps people happy. He must like get their Gatorade like every flavor that they like right on time. There's no way that you otherwise really want him in your locker room, right? Maybe he like gets their jeans clean for him. He's the guy that like, hey Dev, do you need air in your tire? I got you. Like, what do you need, Chris? You need me to hold the camera for your State Farm commercial? I got you. Whatever you need.
I feel like he's the guy that like flies his whole family from Wisconsin down for Thanksgiving, and you're the athlete that can't travel home because like you got a game the next day, and he's like,
he invites you
over.
Why
don't you come over?
Right? Then you go over there, you're like, why is your food so bland? Oh, y'all are from Wisconsin. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you for the invite. I'm never coming back. Like, your collard greens are terrible. Your mac and cheese doesn't have any cheese in it.
Yeah.
Although aren't they the cheeseheads? So that they should be, yeah. Maybe maybe a different dish. His turkey's dry.
I bet not ever hear about Frank cooking collars though. Like
ever.
Honestly, when he was chugging that beer after, like on a little car parade that they had when they returned to Phoenix, I was like, yeah, that's exactly who I thought you were.
Yeah,
yep, you're that guy, and you're the guy that knocked us out of back-to-back Elite Eights. So
yeah, you know what I was confused about? So they showed the locker room after the Bucks won.
I'm so glad this came up.
I get they're in Atlanta, but they were just like chilling. Like the medical staff was drinking a beer, and the rest of the players just like, all right, so like when's the plane, or like when do we go? Like I thought they would have been like on cloud nine, but I was confused.
They want to be Kobe so bad. God, they just want, everybody wants to be that. Well, job's not finished. Yeah, but like you just got through you're allowed to celebrate.
You beat the Nets.
I know. I kind of feel like it was because if you think about like their path to get there.
Actually,
the previous seasons before, and then it's like, all right, we beat the Hawks, who we realistically speaking, we should have beat them in 5.
Should have beat them in 5.
Should have beat them in 5. I feel like it's like the equivalent of like, when like you get in like the argument with your girl and you finally smooth things over, and she's like, "You want to watch a movie?" You're like, "Yeah." And it's like you're happy that y'all cool again,
but
you're literally you're happy that of course we should be good. Of course I want to hang with you, but like, damn,
let me act right.
But the movie is the right move. Yeah. Because then I don't got to talk to you right now.
Yeah, you just like,
because if you say no,
if you say no, you're screwed. You're gonna. But so for the Bucks, man, I also was thinking, man, they don't have like you said, they're kind of expected to get there, right? Like they really were. They had the league's back-to-back MVP. They have, top 5 in both categories for offense and defense for the season. And they don't have a guy Giannis is not that old. He is they've only gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals, one other time, I'm pretty sure, against the Raptors where they lost.
Yeah.
So like it's not like they have this longevity of always falling short. On the flip side, the Suns literally have the guy that's known to can't get over the hump, always has an injury. Again, Devin, a lot of snubs on all those things that we've talked about in previous podcasts. And the fact that no one expected the Suns to even, we were not even the favorites in our 7-2 matchup. Mm-hmm. When the Bucks have been the favorites outside the Nets game or the Nets series, for years now, not just this playoff series. They've been the favorites for a long time. No one's ever counted them out. Even then this year, a lot of teams were still like, I think the Bucks and Nets will be the Eastern Conference Finals. I think that's the 1-2 seed. So, like, of course, they're not going to celebrate because it's kind of like they planned to get here. The Suns had no business being here, realistically, right? Like, fate kind of had its way. So that's why I was saying, and I'm not mad at either one. Like, if you want to be serious and, yeah, we haven't finished our job yet, okay, cool. But if you want to celebrate and just kind of enjoy the moment, especially for a guy on your team that, you know, you've literally grown up watching and you've seen all of his shortcomings and all the injuries and all that, and you want to celebrate that. Also, you're celebrating the fact that that game he just played, he did that. Like, he dropped 41. He closed this series out. Like, he gets to have that glory to finally get to the finals. Like, why wouldn't you say you want to be happy? Get out of here, man. I celebrate harder for my guys on the intramural squad when we freaking hit a 3. Like, I don't care.
Well, I think an interesting question is, like, of course, we got the matchup set. Of the two teams, of course, one's going to lose. Who do you think has the more realistic pathway of getting back next year?
The Bucks.
You think?
I think the Western. I think Dez and I talked about this on episode 5. So if you haven't listened, for all of our friends and family, go listen to episode 5. We didn't promote it. Social media team was they were out or something. I don't know. I got to talk to them.
He was just getting back from Vegas.
I didn't. But I think the Bucks, because one, they're in the East, and two, realistic. You just saw Philly self implode, so they've not gotten stronger. Mm-hmm. Boston is a wild card because of new coach and the health of Jaylen Brown. Honestly, the Bucks, they only lost DiVincenzo, right? And he's going to come back healthy. They might reload with some other free agents, and they only have the Nets to really deal with. And on the West, freaking Golden State's coming back full strength. The Lakers are coming back full strength, rested. The Nuggets. Clippers might come back full strength, rested. The Nuggets come back full strength, rested. The Jazz come back full strength. San Antonio, you can't ever count them out.
Yeah.
Portland might.
You just brought up San Antonio?
Just because they always give you those stupid losses during the season. I'm telling you, man.
It's nasty.
I would have went Grizzlies over.
Yeah.
I wasn't done. That's my point. Is the West is
San Antonio is literally them they are literally like on Anchorman when they have the street fight with the other news station. When I can't remember, was it channel like 11 or something? And he shows up and he's like, "You dirtbags have been in last place for 5 years." That is the Spurs, bro.
Don't do that. To them. They have a winning culture. They have a winning culture.
I'm actually going to second this too. I hate the Spurs. I've hated the Spurs since Robert Horry, and I'm
not saying I like the Spurs. I'm just being a realistic.
I'm giving them zero clout. So thank you, Reau.
Fine. New Orleans is still going to come back.
Thank you. Cool. We can have that conversation before we. Cool.
You know who I'll count out? Minnesota. I'll count out the Kings. And I guess I'll count out the Spurs for now.
Yeah,
that's it. Everybody else.
Well, I mean, okay. Promoted. All right. If you look at the Bucks
and Houston, could be out. But Dallas, another team.
Realistically speaking, they should have been swept.
Who?
By Brooklyn.
The Bucks.
The Bucks. Yeah, they should have been swept.
I think they get one. I think they
minimum maybe a 5. I mean, maybe they get one. Okay, so
everyone should have got swept though if Harden and Kyrie are healthy.
But we cross off Brooklyn as like check. They're not better than them. Philly's gonna do something. If they run it back, cool. We can say they get past Philly. I don't think DiVincenzo healthy. If you put the Hawks fully healthy and the Bucks fully healthy, are you telling me that there's like? Are you definitively saying that they beat
No, I think that series goes 7 and it's a 50-50 shot.
Okay, so we've already got the Hawks. I don't know. I think Philly does something, so they're still in the mix.
You think so?
I think they do something this year. I guess it's like it's less teams that you can make a case for winning the East.
The Heat could reload. Heat could reload a little bit. But they're not
It's not
there.
the West, though. It's not the West. It's not the West.
There's so many more teams you can count out in the East than you can in the West. Right?
Yeah.
That's true. But I think it's more like the one team that you have to beat in the East.
No, that's freaking
it's literally impossible.
That's Thanos. They have all the Infinity Stones.
It's really so because I think like you could tell me that Ayton gets better this offseason and they beat the Lakers in 7 next year. I can see that happening. You can make a case.
I don't see the Sun getting
these.
worse. Yeah, I don't think our path is as here we go is as easy as this year. Like the stars don't align as well as they do, right? Can we get there? Yeah, I think all the teams in the West can realistically get there, minus a few, like the ones that we've talked about. Like the Clippers are coming back reloaded next year. Like Kawhi's going to be fully rested. They might do something different. Dallas might pull the trigger on something. Like it's just there's so many. Like this offseason is going to be awesome because people who are really close are going to gamble
right now.
Well, Kawhi's going to be unrestricted free agent.
Okay.
I
can't talk about. I think Harden and Kyrie both had options. No,
I have no idea on their stuff. So
yeah, I think of course. Well, John Collins restricted free agent.
Yep. But you guys could bird rights him, right?
Yeah, I mean,
not that you want
to. If he leaves, we sign and trade. I don't think we go full Kings mode and just let him walk.
Yeah.
God.
They really let us get Bogdanovich for free.
For free. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy is the Bucks were trying to get him, and they got that tampering issue and lost him.
Fumbled the bag.
Yeah, that's what you get. Whatever.
Yeah.
Poor guy's not in the finals because of the Bucks. Look at that. They cost him a finals appearance.
Yeah.
Also, screw him, man. He didn't give me that last assist on my parlay. I need it, man. I gotta pay for these Vegas Venmos that are coming in.
God, oh my God, they haven't come yet.
No, we don't want to talk about it in the pod.
We'll leave it alone.
We'll just keep moving.
Yeesh.
All right, so I got a little fun segment, more around pickup basketball because a lot of our friends that do listen play pickup ball. So obviously, here's the generic. I know, of course, you probably prefer to play indoors. Yes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a given. So when you do have to play outdoors, what kind of courts do you like to play on? And are you prefer the sunny day? Do you prefer the shade? Do you prefer the cold days? Because I just played yesterday and it was half shade, half sunny, and I played with guys that made us switch court after every 10 points combined. I was like, there's way too much math going on, and they're like, it's to balance the game out. I was like, I've never heard of this, man. The sun is really not like
switch courts.
No, switch sides. Switch sides, which you're going whenever the score was combined of dividends of 10.
Get out of here.
Even my listeners are already lost. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I know exactly what
Imagine
you're
me playing
basically to make sure that everyone exerts the same amount of energy from having to be in the sun on offense.
Yes, or the sun's not in your face on offense the whole time. And I'm like,
yeah, that's trash.
We are not that good. This matters.
No, I would. I would much rather prefer like full sun.
I'm with you.
Man,
I want sun over the top. I'm trying to be sweaty and again, I'm just there to work out. I'm not an NBA.
I don't need to. Yeah, I don't need to play I don't need to run 8 games. Give me like a good 3 to 4.
I need 3 or 4. Like, honestly, I'm okay with losing the 4th game. Just that. So then I'm like, oh, we lost. I got to go. I'm not trying to get picked. They're like, yo, we just need one. Shoot for it. Yeah, and oh, no. I got to hit the groceries or the dog or something. You just pull out any excuse to go home.
I like I was going to say, I think about the court. I think it's those new, we played on one in DC actually. The new regrind type of courts that they're not.
You played over one by my house.
Yeah.
So there's asphalt courts. There's those bouncy clay, whatever courts that actually they have a lot of in Arizona. There's just the straight up concrete court that kind of sucks and just ruins your knees. And then there's there are multiple types of court. There's the tennis court that people play on because they're like, oh, this is a park. Let's multi-use this. And we're getting old. So I actually kind of you're playing on a concrete court. My knees might feel terrible tomorrow. And I don't have a lot of Caesar salads at home. So I need to get something else in my system.
Dude,
what you got?
So, all right. I don't remember what kind of courts these were, and I haven't played them in a while. But if I had my choice outside, it's the ones that the flooring, they're almost like waffles. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I know exactly what you're talking about.
They even got a little pattern on them.
Exactly. So those are the 3-on-3 ones that are dope. I'm going to say those, but I do not want to play in the sun. I live in Arizona. There's no freaking chance. I don't care what time of season. I want shade. Yeah, I'm going to go with shade. Shade in those courts. I actually prefer outside courts than I do inside, personally.
Okay. Follow-up question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the guy that takes off his shirt that you have to guard?
Dude, come on, man.
See, I'm setting y'all up.
Come on, man.
He can literally get to the rim whenever he wants from me.
Yo, I
can get to the rim whenever. I'm not.
This ain't that serious. Like, put your shirt back on right now. Like,
I bring all this up because there were people yesterday doing all this stuff, man. I was like, dude, put your shirt back on, man. Like everyone, like I get it, you're hot, we're all sweating, but like I don't want to put my arm or my hand like on your body. That's nasty. There's a pandemic going on, sir.
I don't want to kiss a shoulder if you're backing me up, man. Like,
no. I'm not trying to lick your sweat or blood. Like, I'm not Tyson Fury over here, man. I ain't trying to do all that.
I actually bring like 2 or 3 shirts with me when I hoop because I don't even like being the guy that sweats too much when you have to guard me.
Oh, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being
being that guy. I don't like being that guy. I don't like being that guy. It makes me feel uncomfortable when I get too sweaty. I've literally left pickup games because I'm like, I don't like how my shirt feels. And I
gotta get my dog. I gotta go shopping. Like I gotta go.
My girl's calling me. Oh, she's mad. She thinks I'm whatever. So it's funny they bring that up, Reau. I asked Dez this last time. We were doing NBA fits, and some feedback was Dezi has the worst NBA fit of all time selection. So actually, multiple people said, "What the hell is it? Has he pictured whatever he looks like in this fit? It's terrible." And I was like, "Hey, man, that's your friend. That's your list. That's your host. I'm this host. Okay, yeah, I can roll with the Dez side. I'm on the side."
Wait, so, what do you mean NBA fit? Yeah.
So I said, if you were in today's NBA, or you going to a pickup game, like, what are you rocking? Like, there's so many options.
No, okay, I do remember that. Yeah, because he said shooting sleeve. He said shooting sleeve.
He said shooting. He said shooting sleeve. No shooting sleeve. V-neck jersey. Yeah. He said V-neck jersey, the worst jersey of all time. Like,
yeah. And then you said you're leaving the bottom 5 buttons.
Yeah, he has a 5-inch seam. It was terrible. Yeah. So, Reau, first of all, what are you wearing? And what's your warm-ups look like? Because he had the breakaways. That's the only swaggy piece of clothing he had. And we're like, all right, but then you pull out the V-neck jersey underneath that. That's ugly. What are you doing?
I'm a big fan of the long sleeve t-shirt.
Yeah, to warm up.
I love them.
Or to play
them. I play in them. So like, I'll go hoodie, long sleeve shirt,
mellow hoodie,
warm up. Yeah, hoodie's always.
So you and Dez are rocking the same mellow hoodie.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And then I go like shorts and the 3/4 tights.
Okay.
3/4 tights.
No 5-inch seam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we on 5 or 7.
No 5-inch seam.
How high are your socks? How high are your socks? You got the Jason Terry socks on, or
no? Because when you wear the 3/4, you get like that little bit of. I like to have like maybe like this much of a leg show.
Yeah, I'm trying to showcase the calf that's flexed. The piece of the calf that's flexed. Yeah. See, Dez? See, that it just lo and behold shows you that Dezi's still the geezer of the pod. So if there's a bad clothing take, like, Dezi's got us, man. Don't worry. He actually, I'm pretty sure he was considering a polo at one point. Like,
hey, I'm not a polo wearer, man. Hey, shit. I guess you're right. I on the IG the other day, I had this like fashion expert on and teaching people how to dress. She was coaching me on some shit, so I guess I need it here.
You learned a tip or two.
Yeah, I learned a tip or two.
That's what's up.
I'm still going with those jerseys though. I like it.
So Dez, game 1, are you going? I told you I was going. I dropped a bomb on him last time. He didn't know I was going. So are you going?
I'm still undecided.
Okay.
Still undecided.
Well, I'll be there. So
yeah,
getting back to game 1 and what we kind of want to see. I think some folks want to hear like what's our expectations for matchups and kind of what we think will work, what we think might not work, that kind of thing. So go ahead, y'all two, kick us off. I'll chime in after. What do you want to see with matchups, both from the Suns' perspective offensively and what we should be trying to do defensively?
Go ahead, Reau.
I'll go. Yeah. I want to see the Bridges versus Middleton matchup. I think that's going to be interesting. From like Middleton offensively. I think, of course, the team's going to go as Chris goes, to be honest. That, and then who guards Drew Holiday from you guys? I'd be interested to see that. Just because I think It seemed like once he locked into the Atlanta series and just decided I'm picking up everybody full court and I'm going to be hella aggressive on offense, the series was basically over for us after that. So yeah, I think I'll be surprised if the Suns lose game one. I think you guys start slow because you've had the longest layoff. And I think it's like a 1-0. I see it being like a 1-0, a 106, like 106, like 98, something like that.
Yeah, no, I like the score take. I'm in the same boat here. So I mean, I've already been clear about the matchup that I'm worried about, and the matchup that I really want to see is Brook Lopez and DeAndre Ayton. Because I really want to see, like, if Lopez goes to his corner, we're shooting the threes. Like, what does that do for our defense? Does it mean that we extend DeAndre? So I'm excited to see what Monty does, just with an adjustment there as the game goes through. And I said this 2 podcasts ago when I was really pissed off about Book switching. I think I love Devin Booker. I think he has some areas of his game that just might be the next thing that he has to learn in the offseason, because I'm afraid of the Drew Holiday look, because Book is probably going to pick him up. And if Drew's going to be as aggressive as he was, then Book is getting cooked again. So yeah, I'm going to say Suns take game one. I like the score take, Reau. I'm going to say right around there as well.
Cool. So a couple of things that I'm thinking about are, one, we've kind of seen a defensive player in Drew Holiday in the last series. Again, like Pat Bev plays similar style, very aggressive, very up in your face. Like, so I think that actually it won't surprise him as much with that. Drew Holiday's a little bigger, a little stronger probably, but I don't think that style of defense against Chris or Devin will kind of honestly sway too much from the jump. I think they're kind of ready for that. Another thing that I want to see is how does Jay Crowder bring that energy from game 6 into this series? And, can he keep up the confidence in shooting? And do we get him going early like we did that last game? And does Cam Johnson still be that new spark off the bench? Because I'm going to deviate from the norm, but I wanted to look up one of the games that we did play against the Bucks, and I pulled it up real quick. So one of the games that we played this season, I think we beat them 2-0. One of the games was won in OT. The other game was a 1-point game. I think that got a last-second foul call, if I remember correctly, that we ended up winning on. But Cam Payne didn't play. He had a right foot injury. Devin and Chris kind of did their thing. But for the Bucks to even be close to beating us, for it to even be a 1-point game, Giannis had to go for 47 points.
Shit.
And he's not playing this series. So granted, Drew Holiday is also not I think he was out with an injury during that time, but I don't know that was COVID. I think you're right. I don't know that Drew Holiday is going to give 47 points though, the way that Giannis does, nor the 11 rebounds and 5 assists. And, Chris Middleton did his thing, 18 points. Like, that's kind of expected. Brook Lopez had 10. Mm-hmm. So he has stepped it up in this playoffs. DiVincenzo gave them 10. So that's a missing 10 for them that they might not have. Guess who was on their, gave them 15 minutes and he didn't have a great stat line, but he gave them 15 minutes off the bench.
Oh, it had to be your guy, Torrey Craig.
So I bring him up because
I still don't understand why they looked at their roster and said, there's no way we can use you.
For cash consideration. No, they used him for cash considerations. So they got cash considerations. We got Torrey Craig. Antoine Moore played 19 minutes in this game. So I'm just trying to give you guys perspective that both of these teams have changed since then, right? And it was a 1-point game. But the X factor that kept it a 1-point game is potentially not playing in game 1 with Giannis. Like, that is a big deal to me. Like, Frank Kaminsky played 35 minutes in this game. Yes, I know this is a shocker. I mean, it was a shocker to me looking it up. He had more minutes than Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton.
Monty drunk?
I'm wondering what happened. Dario was hurt, so that does make sense. But it's just funny to see, right? And I think it'll be cool because game 1, again, I go back to what I want to see is I want to see how Crowder responds. I think he's going to get the same amount of minutes. I want to see how Cam Johnson responds because I think he's going to get the same amount of minutes as he did. But then we have a couple guys that are going to play that didn't get to see. The Bucks never got to see us, and we also probably didn't get to see them, is Sarge and campaign. And, those guys come off the bench, and I want them just to carry in what they did in game 6, because they did all the right things, I think. And now campaign has had some time to get his ankle a little more healthy. That's a big deal. Devin's face is probably healing up a little better, so maybe no more mask the whole time. We'll see. The cool thing is, fun fact to kind of get close to ending on, or we don't have to end here, but I do think it's a cool fun fact, is Torrey Craig gets to win a ring no matter what. So I brought that game up to show that he gets a ring no matter what. He gets the Andre Varejao moment of this year's finals. And hopefully he gets the Suns ring, because we don't want a Bucks ring, man.
You don't want that.
So that's all I had, man. I brought that up to say that even though the last game was very close, the score is higher. I think we do take game 1. I think we actually take it in kind of a dominating fashion. I think a little bit of energy is taken from the Bucks, because they've I'm big on like watching how people play emotionally. I think that's something that kind of gets overlooked. Like these guys, I say it time and time again, that they're all at this level of expertise that we can't even really imagine for basketball. And the thing that always comes down to is not necessarily like, is this guy a better shooter or a better dribbler? Like, most of them are very close, if not on the same level. It's, can they do it on a mental perspective, and how much energy are they exhausting and containing, and how are they playing within their emotions? So we'll see, right? The Suns get the advantage of having that fan base to start us off and, rally the valley, if you will. But the Bucks just played a grind out game on the road, so they're not scared of that either. They're just missing a huge piece. Yeah. Huge.
No, I'm with you. All right, so we're at hour 11 right now. I think it's time for 24-second shot clock time.
Unless Rose got my Rap It with Rose segment. I mean, we can always fit that.
I mean, we could always fit that.
I put all my guns into the PJs, into the would you rather.
It was a good bit.
The would you rather? The would
you rather was a good one.
I put all my guns into that.
This is why you feature a third, because he brings some topics that we weren't ready for, which always is fun. So now we've got 2 segments. We've got Rapping with Reau and Would You Rather. And we're just gonna keep stealing everything from Reau. He's honestly our content creator that gets no credit. So
I think I'm still going to put Would You Rather. I'm still going to spell out Reau, THER.
Would you rather? That's hard to say.
I like it.
Say it out loud.
I was going to say Would You Rather, but we're going to spell it with Reau.
Okay. Fine. I'll sound like the idiot. Thank you.
You are the idiot.
That's fair.
All right. Who's got a 24-second shot clock?
I feel like Rose got to give us one because he's our guest. But if you don't have one, man, I'll give you one.
I don't.
Okay, fine.
No,
I got one for you. This will just be a fun one. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I got one too. It would be super quick, but go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Tap into your. I'm gonna give you some timeline.
Who's going first?
I'm going.
Okay.
I'm giving you my question. I'll count us out here in a few seconds. But put your mindset in 90s basketball right now. So both of y'all get 90s basketball. Get in your bag. I'm gonna go. Ro's gonna answer first. Dez, you get to answer second for my question. Okay. In 5 seconds, Ro, give me top 10 jerseys of the 90s. Go.
Atlanta Hawks. I'm going with Pacers. Bucks. Sixers because of Iverson alone. No, I don't want to go Suns.
4 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Trailblazers.
Okay, that was 5. That was 5. All right, Dez. Same question. Go.
Suns, Orlando Magic, Utah Jazz. And I'm only going to say this because David Robinson was the man. So Spurs, because I had like 5 of his jerseys. And then 5th, I'm going to go Chicago Bulls.
There's 10 I asked for.
10? Oh, shit. Okay. And I was start naming off teams. Indiana Pacers.
2.
Your 5 that you came with were way better than mine.
Your 5 are good. I'm really upset with both of y'all missing on these 2. I'll just say them. The fact that you didn't say the Vancouver Grizzlies.
And the Raptors.
Yeah. Both of those were.
I used to have a starter jacket.
I was like thinking you were going to think Mike Bibby. I thought Roe would come in with his Tracy McGrady or Vince Carter bag. I was just, I thought
about that.
I do like the Pacers. You like the pinstripes.
Glenn Robinson and Glenn Robinson and
Are you talking
Ray
the purple
Allen.
jersey? The purple jersey?
Yeah. That hard.
Let's go real hard. Also, nobody said Supersonics.
Jersey.
That's like it goes hard because they don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
All right, that was fun.
Yeah, I only say the Orlando Magic because I remember watching the documentary yesterday, that Magic moment, and I had Shaq, I had Penny. Yeah, I had all those.
The black too. Penny is
Black Penny,
untouchable jersey, man.
Wait, hold on, I got something. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, bring it. While Des goes to get that, man, I was just thinking about. I do think the '90s has some of the best jerseys like of all time. Wow. Should I go get my Reggie Miller signed shoe?
Yo,
I got Reggie Miller's actual shoe, and it has Larry Bird, Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal, Reggie Miller, Jamal Tinsley. Whoever else was on that team, I think Steven Jackson. I got everybody's signature on that shoe. It's somewhere in my house.
Yeah, for our listeners out there, I just pulled out a Penny Hardaway shoe. My dad found it at a freaking Ross or something like that, and it was size 8, so I didn't fit. But like, all right, let's go in my office then.
You just got one shoe at Ross?
No, I got 2.
That's such a Ross purchase. There's only one shoe here. Des, we were saying that those '90s jerseys are some of the best, man. If not the best, in my opinion. They just go so hard. They're pretty timeless too. They age well. They look good. Yeah. All right, you got one for us, right?
Oh, for me? Oh, yeah. All right. So this will be easy. All right, put yourself back. Yeah, this might be '90s era too. Put yourself back at like Little League, basketball, baseball, whatever you played. All right. So you win the ship. This won't even take 24 seconds. What place are you going to eat and why? We'll start with Reau. I'm going to give you 10 seconds.
It was this place called CC's Pizza.
Oh,
it's like, I don't know.
Pizza buffet. Oh, you got me.
Bruh, pizza buffet, and it's got like an arcade there, like hella cheap. And you basically could go like all you can eat pizza and any drink you wanted for like I think it was like $7 to $8 for kids or something like that.
Dude, they had this like cinnamon pizza too that you like you might get one good one, but it's all cinnamon. Like shit, bro. That all right. Now, Si, you got to follow that, man.
I mean, so in Indiana it was Pizza Hut, obviously, because generic Indiana only gets chain restaurants. And then when I moved to Tucson, it was freaking Peter Piper Pizza because all the Hispanic people just love Peter Piper for some reason. They think that's the best pizza in the world. It's not good. I'm sorry. If you're from Tucson, you're from Arizona, dude, that pizza is cardboard. Okay, I'd rather get Little Caesars than that crap. But for some reason,
hey, you know why? You know why?
Tell me.
Like all my Latinos out there, let's just keep it 100 real quick.
It's
the
cheap.
only place. That
and the beer for their dads.
It's the only place that you can get pictures of beer at 10 a.m.
Yep, for your pops. Y'all want to soccer a little championship at 9, and we're going to Peter Piper Pizza. All right, Des, what was your spot? Because yours was probably in what, the 70s or 80s? Did they have it?
Oh my God, shut your ass up, God. You're seriously the worst right now. Oh my God. Man, I'm happy.
I promise.
I'm gonna have to bite Rose. The CC's Pizza was a good one. Although coming from New Mexico and here, we either did that or we did this place called Garcia's where it was just like burritos and stuffed sopapillas. So like, shout out to Albuquerque, New Mexico. But yeah, I'm gonna go with CC's though. That's a good bet.
That's a good one. Every now and then, when the parents that knew y'all were gonna win and planned it, I remember in Arizona they would do EGs. They always had the EGs, and they actually got the EGs for you in the sub. Yeah. That was cool, but that was only if you know your squad was going to win.
Yeah.
You had to be stacked. You had to be the Nets of the little leagues or something. No injuries. Do you ever get injured? Do you remember being injured when you were a kid? I couldn't even tell you.
No.
They don't exist, right?
No.
It's only until you become a teenager.
Yeah. No.
Cool, never. Man. Well, we're at 118. It's been fun. Thank you again, Reau, to coming on, being our residential Hawks fan.
Yep.
Our Atlanta take, our whatever, our hip hop.
I really like that take. The more that I'm thinking about it, that was a really good take off the top of the dome too. The TI one.
Oh, it was great. No, I was about to say our hip hop connoisseur, our analogist, whatever else you want some more nicknames?
Dude, your Big Sean take last episode was trash. My Nas one was way better.
Wow.
He bodied you with that. He bodied you with it.
Is that what we're doing? That's what we're gonna just
He
go.
bodied you with it.
We're playing revisionist history because I had the Young Money take that you couldn't even touch. Okay.
Hey, you got me. We're 1-1 right now. That was
We're not gonna. No, you've won one game. I'm way ahead of you. You've won one game. There's no
my
one.
God, get out of here.
I'm going to
All right.
Arizona. Maybe I'll see Dez. Maybe I'll hoop him up real quick if he wants to catch a bucket or two. But I'm going to game one. I think we're going to record after game one. So happy 4th to all of our friends and family listening. Good luck, Suns. Good luck, Bucks. We're at $1:20 on the pod. Keep listening, keep liking, keep subscribing. Roe's coming back for some more. He's just because the Hawks are out doesn't mean Reau is out. So
Gotta have him on.
Thank you all again. Any last words, Dez?
Our social media guy should be back, so you should catch this on IGTV and YouTube.
Yeah. Episodes 5. You're gonna get a little 2-pack from our social media. We're gonna give you episodes 5 and 6. So go ahead and check it out. And if you want to skip 5, that's okay. I understand. Just skip to minute 20. You'll get my awesome Young Money take. And you can probably skip the rest of the pod. It's a lot of
no. It's just me botting side the whole time. So yeah. All right.
Thank you again, Reau.
Let's go.
All right. Appreciate you guys.
Suns in 4.